We are closing in fast to the release of Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon, so I thought it would be an appropriate time, thanks to Patreon, to check out Spirit of Mother Will from AC4A. Here we go. Wow, that and Always Moving on the Surface might be my two favorite Armored Core tracks that I've listened to thus far, and it's not just because of the singing, but let's go back and break this down quickly. So we start with this. First of all, Accapella, period, is extremely effective. When we're not really singing words, we're just using vowels, and we're just singing on like an open-throated ooh or oh or ah. Rarely do we need words to tell a story. Oftentimes that comes from the composer's choices when it comes to pitch and rhythm and intensity. What's also interesting to me is that this piece is as minimalist as it could come. This is minimalist music, which is sort of interesting because, just so you know, minimal music, also called minimalism from Google, is a form of art, music, or other compositional practice that employs limited or minimal musical materials. Prominent features of minimalist music include repetitive patterns or pulses, steady drones, consonant harmony, and reiteration of musical phrases or smaller units. And if you listen to this piece like you just did with me, this entire thing is minimalist. This is very, very short phrases. It just repeats and repeats and repeats. And yet it doesn't take away from the intensity of what's happening on the screen. The only time it shifts away from this minimalist perspective is near the middle end, when it switches into that hardcore bass drum and a guitar rhythm. And so just listen to this. And then I saw a comment that said that it actually sounds, this is Patrick Wilson commented on this video, it sounds like the chorus is chanting "ide" repeatedly, which is true. In Latin, it means anger, and it's super appropriate, but let's listen. You have altos and the sopranos, and the sopranos in video game music, and in general, even in operatic and classical writing, are all usually, especially sopranos, tend to be celestial. They tend to be reveling in God and praising God and showing God to us, the listener. The mezzo is a different thing, but in this case, I feel like the mezzo is underpinning and supporting the sound of the sopranos, and the sopranos are still the lead of this melody, if you can call it that. I'm looking at a picture, I can't tell if this is a mech, and so Mother Will is a giant mech, it's unclear. This is a song of reverence. influence for Mother Will, if that's the case. If it isn't, it could be, the spirit of Mother Will, the feeling of what the Mother Will brings. And, well, let's not get into the weeds about that too much, but let's keep listening to the emotional context. So that's so effective. Boom. We still have this mechanical nature by using the drums. The drums are really heavily influencing, sort of allowing us to decipher the weight and size of whatever mech is in Armored Core for Answer, right? There's a heft to boom. That's heavy. First of all, I love that drum. But if you look, there's doubling in 3 different sections. There's doubling in the soprano, there's doubling in the alto, and then there's doubling in the strings. Boom, 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 boom. And you wouldn't think that a phrase like that would cause tension, but to me, this is oozing tension. Boom, 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 boom. This is staccato. This is sharp. This staccato being abrupt. It's not. No. This is boom, 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 boom. Short. Listen to that harmony. Actually, do you hear that? Boom. This mechanical noise is actually making the same pitch inflection as the chorus was. And it's keeping up with this idea that whatever this thing is, the spirit of the Mother Will, is constantly moving forward, and it's not human, it's inorganic, and it's organic at the same time. And there is this propulsion, and we're never letting down on that mechanical forward momentum. In this part, we're still doing the exact same thing, but actually it's funny because the drum, which is normal in music, that the drums usually are the ones that cause propulsion or cause a new musical rhythmic identity, but in this case it's no different. So even though the sopranos and the altos and the cellos and the violins or whatever they are doing the same musical gesture, underneath we actually have a shift that causes us a different kind of feeling, even though it's the same stuff that's been happening for the last 54 seconds. And then I love that we're smashing on that cymbal, which just sounds like explosions and gunfire. And then we have a shift. Now we're out of that sort of minimalist structure, and now we have going back to the original thing, so you could call this a repeat of the A section. If verses are A and chorus is B, we're going back to A in this. So there's a bubbling underneath now of the different mechanical instruments as well as the drums. We're shifting here in a big second. You hear that lone horn in the background? Boom, boom. Yeah, so that's an immensely satisfying shift musically, because now you have the chorus going, ho, ho. And I love this. Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, bum, bum. I think it's still in the realm of minimalist music. We're deviating from what we've just heard for the last 2 minutes, and now we have this real powerful explosion, still within this sort of controlled minimalist structure, but now it's like all bets are off. There's a brutality in the music that's really satisfying. And then it just dies off with this electric guitar, which is that quintessential sound that we hear in armored core music in general. And it's super satisfying. Spirit of the Mother Will, that's really good. And there's another track, The Mother Will Come Again, correct? Or The Mother Will Comes Again. I'm curious to hear that. So as always, if you like this sort of stuff, there's more armored core on the channel, and I'm really excited for all the musical exploration we'll do when Fires of Rubicon comes out here in a couple months. If you like this sort of stuff, feel free to like, subscribe. There's links in the About section if you want to support the channel. Come join the Discord, support me directly on Patreon if you'd like. And as always, thanks a ton, and I'll see you in the next one.